Antarctica is the coldest place on Earth, containing 90% of the planet's ice. It looks almost like an alien planet, and there are some who think it's hiding proof of aliens themselves.
You have to wonder, is the South Pole some kind of extraterrestrial entry zone?
Territory on the planet that could have such a designation is Antarctica.
Huge Great Pyramids in Antarctica. They jut out of the ice and snow, and they look perfect, just like those in Egypt.
Have you ever wondered what lies beneath the unexplored land of Antarctica? Ice? Nah, there's a lot more than meets the eye. Extraterrestrial remains, legendary beasts, frozen mysteries, and much more. So, join us on a journey where science meets the impossible.
Собака хули унюхалась.
In the large, snowy area of Siberia, a surprising find by local hunters shocked everyone. A pale, hairless figure with a big head, long arms, and thin legs was found partially buried in snow. Word spread quickly, and soon many curious people came to see.
Собака хули унюхалась.
Rumors of a UFO crash went around. Scientists arrived to examine it and came to know that it was the carcass of an alien. They buried it under the ground to hide such a case from the world.
Собака хули унюхалась.
Otzi's curse. High in the Alps, two hikers made an accidental discovery that would rewrite history books. They found Otzi, an ancient frozen man in the mountains. Partially buried in the ice, he was the world's most perfectly preserved time traveler from 5,300 years ago. Preserved by the icy environment, Otzi offered insights into Copper Age life, from his clothing and tools to his last meal and medical conditions. Strangely, 7 people who worked with his body lost their lives in weird accidents, making people wonder if Otzi's spirit was angry about being disturbed. Otzi now rests in a special museum. So, next time you're out for a hike, keep those eyes open. You never know when you might trip over the next chapter of human history. Creepy hybrid. An onlooker in Russia caught something really creepy. Settled among tree roots was a bizarre creature. Its oversized black eyes seemed to stare right through the onlooker, while strange, string-like limbs came from its back. It was captured and handed over to police. After a research by the police forensic team, a bombshell dropped. This creepy crawly was actually a super weird frog that was a result of some failed scientific experiments. This frog might look like it came from a spaceship, but it taught us a big lesson that we are still unaware of our surroundings. Alien eggs.
All right, I'll touch it.
Okay, touch it.
In the misty mountains of Utah, 2 hikers fell upon a confusing sight. Strange, slimy shapes covered the snowy surface of a frozen lake, with dark lines making patterns in the white snow. Curious to learn more, they carefully got closer. Upon gently touching the mysterious substance, they felt it was cold and gelatinous, unlike anything they'd encountered before. Each icy circle was perfectly round, with tiny holes spreading out from the middle. They filmed and shared it online, claiming them to be alien eggs. Soon, people all over the internet started arguing. Some rejected the ET theory while the rest were figuring it out. Later, it was revealed that these so-called alien eggs were actually part of an art project.
All right, I'll touch it.
Okay, touch it.
Wilderness Watch. In a snow-covered forest, a wildlife photographer's routine took an unexpected turn. While he was capturing the frozen land, something odd caught his eye. Right up against a twisted tree trunk, a creature stared back with oversized eyes. Its features were a bizarre mix of reptilian and alien. For a brief moment, the being held its gaze, as if studying the human. Just as quickly as it appeared, it vanished, leaving nothing behind but a single blurry photo. The image sparked debates online. Was it an undiscovered species or evidence of something more otherworldly? While detectives remained doubtful, they reminded us that some corners of nature are still unexplored. Snow treasures. One winter morning, a visitor set out to clear snow from his driveway. He began brushing away snow with his hands. Suddenly, he moved away in shock. There, emerging from the white powder, was a small, dark figure, unlike anything that had crossed his path before. It was a dark figure with a big tongue. Soon people gathered as speculation ran wild. Was it a new species? Eventually, a local biologist came and identified it as an alien, and was later taken to the lab. Another group of adventurers set out on a treasure hunt. Armed with metal detectors, they walked slowly through the snow. Suddenly, their equipment started beeping. Excitedly, they began to dig. As the ice chips flew, something round and black appeared. It was a heavy sphere. But the real shock came later when they uncovered what looked like a weird head poking out of the ice. The explorers couldn't believe their eyes. It seemed like an alien along with its spaceship crashed here. They called the government officials, and to this day, no information has been shared.
Come on.
Frozen caveman. One morning, a caveman was found frozen in ice. Soon it became the center of attraction for people. But here's the twist. Zoog Zoog. The caveman was just an old mannequin made with layers of epoxy resin dressed up to look like someone from Otzi's time. The clever artists behind it made him look like he was from the Ice Age. Parkgoers love talking about cavemen and learning new things. Sometimes, a fun surprise is all it takes to bring everyone together. Arctic wonders. In the late 1800s, an army pilot reportedly captured footage showing dozens of well-formed pyramids deep within a restricted zone of Antarctica. The pilot's identity was not disclosed, fueling even more suspicion. Conspiracy theorists quickly latched onto the story, claiming that these structures were deliberately hidden from the world. Some claim these pyramids are remnants of an ancient civilization, while others suggest those are just natural formations. But what is your take on this? Could there be ancient treasures buried in the frozen landscape of Antarctica? Donut-shaped UFO. Travelers in the Rocky Mountains got an incredible surprise one clear morning. A huge round object suddenly appeared near a mountaintop. It wasn't a cloud or a helicopter. It was something beyond our imagination. The strange craft floated silently for a few moments, then suddenly moved towards the sky. It went behind a nearby hill and disappeared. They captured the footage and posted it online. A group of scientists who had been studying unexplained phenomena in the area arrived soon after. They collected data and discovered that strange object was an experimental aircraft from a secretive research program. Frozen mystery.
The footage shows what appears to be alien life forms.
A video had surfaced, sending shockwaves through the internet and leaving viewers questioning everything they thought they knew about our cosmic neighbors. It showed a strange species that had big heads and long fingers, just like the aliens in movies. Some people thought it was real proof of visitors from space. In the shaky footage, several alien-like figures seemed to be frozen in the snow. One was even held up by wires, making some wonder if humans had captured it. After watching the video, the government swiftly took action to investigate whether it was the result of failed scientific experiments or leaked footage from Area 51. Skyborne spectacle. On a routine flight, passengers were stunned by an odd sight outside their windows. 3 disc-shaped objects floated among the clouds, moving in ways that seemed impossible for any normal aircraft. Passengers took their phones, trying to capture video of the strange flat discs. They appeared to be metallic and much larger than any drone. When the plane landed, excited passengers shared their videos online, sparking debates about what they could have seen. Experts claimed the sight was nothing unusual to avoid the chaos. But things were out, and it was too late to hide. It was for sure spaceships from another planet. Mystery disc. In a remote part of China, a helicopter crew filming a nature documentary captured something weird. Their cameras caught an oval-shaped object touching down on a frozen lake. The strange craft flew just above the ice lake for a few moments, causing the surface to steam and crack. The strange craft floated silently for a few moments, then suddenly flew towards the sky. Shortly after, government agents arrived, quickly closing off the area. Over the next few weeks, the incident was labeled as a national security issue, and the real story behind the mysterious craft stayed secret for the world. Tic Tac UFO. A passenger's peaceful flight was disrupted by an extraordinary sight. As he looked out the window at the snow-capped mountains, a peculiar object caught his attention. A white, cylindrical craft was seen darting between the peaks at an astonishing speed. Initially, the passenger believed he was experiencing a hallucination. However, the tic-tac-shaped object continued its unusual moves. Experts from around the globe analyzed the footage, but despite their efforts, the object's identity remains a mystery. The encounter has fueled ongoing discussions about unidentified aerial phenomena. Window Wonder. While flying over a mountain range, a lady recorded an extraordinary encounter with a flying saucer. The unidentified object approached the plane and then vanished without a trace. The footage has sparked intense debate, with theories ranging from a hoax to a genuine encounter with extraterrestrial life. Experts who watch the video think it's real, not fake. They say the way the sun shines on the object and how it reflects light looks too good to be made up. Skull Mystery.
Inside this little museum is a 7 to 9 month old fetus.
While exploring the untouched forest of Bolivia, S Group came across a bizarre skeleton with an unusual skull. Unsure about it, they handed it over to forest officers. The officers, thinking it might be the remains of a malnourished baby, quickly passed it on to medical experts. Their medical expertise revealed something extraordinary. This wasn't a result of deformation or disease. After examining, it turned out to be a 7 to 9 month old fetus with an unusually elongated skull of an alien. Experts speculated it was the byproduct of unsuccessful breeding between Homo sapiens and something else. It is now preserved in a museum, and alien enthusiasts often visit to watch the ET remains.
But in any event, the fetus has got human-like characteristics, but it also has non-human-like characteristics in the sense of the elongated skull.
Bigfoot. One morning in the Michigan woods, a man sat on a bench enjoying his coffee. Suddenly, strange noises broke the silence. Something huge was moving through the trees. At first, he saw only darkness. Then, a giant figure appeared, walking between the trees. This wasn't just big, it was enormous. The man remembered old stories about a monster in these woods. As the creature came closer, he finally saw it clearly. It was a giant Bigfoot. Woods officials were called, as no one had ever seen anything like this before. Where did this giant Bigfoot come from? How long had it been hiding in the Michigan woods? The officials started their research, but nothing was sighted again. Jurassic Jaw. Beachcombers on Dorset's Jurassic Coast made a prehistoric discovery. Sticking out from a cliff face was the massive skull of a pliosaur that was estimated to be 6 ft long. Paleontologists tried their best to study it in more detail and came to know this was a marine predator that ruled the seas 150 million years ago. While the search for more remains continues, the discovery has already revolutionized our understanding of prehistoric marine life and created public interest in paleontology. Beach Globster. In April 2024, a team of rescuers fell upon a sight that left them speechless. Half buried in the sands of the Malaysian coast was an enormous, unidentifiable mass. This particular find was massive, unlike anything they'd seen before. Speculation ran wild among the team. Was it a new species? A prehistoric creature preserved in ice? As experts arrived to study the remains, they concluded it was likely a heavily decomposed globster. Later, it was disposed of safely in the land by cleaners. Frozen legend.
But one thing in particular about this Bigfoot here is it has one of its legs, its foot above the ankle removed, and we have that in the bag.
In the snowy wilderness, a secret was hidden for 65 long years. An investigator's discovery left the world amazed and wondering. There, frozen in time, was a strange creature over 6 feet tall. But its feet were surprisingly small for its size. This odd find made people question everything they thought they knew about animals in the north. The creature looked like a young Bigfoot, perfectly preserved in the ice. Now, the frozen legend sits in a museum for enthusiasts to enjoy the incredible sight. Alien skulls.
You're missing the sagittal suture.
In 1907, archaeologists made a stunning discovery on the island of Malta. Over 7,000 skeletons, many of them with strangely elongated skulls. Initially, they thought these skulls were shaped by head binding, a practice seen in many ancient cultures. But there was something odd about these skulls. They were missing a key human feature. Some even speculated that these might be the result of humans interbreeding with extraterrestrials. While the debate continues, one thing is certain: these skulls remain a mysterious part of our ancient history, sparking theories ranging from ancient practices to alien connections. Frozen fox. Ever think winter can be ruthless? Here's a story from Germany that proves it. A hunter came across a fox completely frozen in a block of ice after it fell into an icy river. He carefully chipped the fox out of the ice and put it on display to warn people about the dangers of the freezing water. It was like nature had turned the river into a giant freezer. So, if you're walking in icy waters, you might want to take the safer, warmer path. Frozen mammoth. Have you ever imagined meeting a real woolly mammoth? In 2007, some people in Russia did just that. A man and his sons were out hunting reindeer in the icy lands of Russia when they found something unbelievable. There, in the frozen ground, was a baby woolly mammoth. This wasn't just any mammoth. This little one, later named Lyuba, had been frozen for over 41,000 years. She was so well preserved that you could still see her trunk, eyes, and even some of her furry coat. Now, thanks to Lyuba, scientists can learn amazing things about these giant furry elephants that lived long ago. It just goes to show that you never know what incredible discoveries might be hiding right under your feet. Beast track. In Albany, Kentucky, a local guy stepped out of his house only to discover this. He looked down and couldn't believe his eyes. There, right on snow, he saw these massive footprints. We're not talking regular footprints here. These things were huge. And get this, they had got claws. Big claws that dug deep into the snow. He followed the path with his camera, and these monster prints were everywhere. The footprints just kept going, making a clear path to somewhere. But where? And what kind of creature left tracks like that? A Bigfoot or a bear or something else? He went ahead, but footprints were not there further. Antarctica Secrets. A retired naval flight engineer once shared some intriguing memories from his time in Antarctica during the 90s. He described sightings of shiny objects zipping across the mountains and even a giant hole in the ice during an emergency medical evac. As they flew past the hole, every one of their instruments went haywire. When they reported this, some men arrived in the black suits from Washington to tell the team to keep this incident a secret. It appears as if both Antarctica and Washington are harboring some bizarre mysteries. Alaskan UFO. In Alaska, a group of friends were out on a hike when something incredible happened. At some distance, they saw a strange, disc-shaped object. It floated just above the snow-covered ground, glowing softly. Then, as quickly as it appeared, the object went upwards and vanished into the sky. The friends caught it in a video and later put it on FB, on which many people commented that it seemed like a UFO. Was it a proof of some non-human technology, or just a random scientist using that frozen land for his experiments? What do you guys think? Emerging terror. During a scientific trip to Antarctica, researchers spotted something that made their eyes wide in shock. As they flew over a vast ice field, a massive shape began to emerge from the snow. As more of it appeared, they realized it might not be from Earth at all. It looked like a gigantic submarine, but larger than any ever built by humans. Could this be an alien spaceship, frozen for centuries? Upon further investigation, the researchers found that the massive shape was actually an old, forgotten experimental submarine. Later, it was taken for study by the help of local authorities. River mist. One day by a quiet river, a fisherman saw something that made him question everything he knew. A white figure rose from the water, looking almost human but not quite. The mysterious being began moving on the surface. Upon zooming in, it seemed to have wings just like angels do. As quickly as it appeared, the figure vanished back into the river. The fisherman was left with an incredible story and so many questions. A spirit from an ancient legend? A ghost? Oh, an angel. No one is still able to identify it. Antarctic Meteorite.
And this is what they found. A nearly 17...
A scholar from Chicago's Field Museum just touched down with a discovery that's out of this world. Literally. A massive, otherworldly object, heavier than you can imagine, now sits in one of the most prestigious museums. A massive space rock. This rare find is one of the largest ever discovered. This finding could help scientists learn about the early days of our solar system. It's like finding a time capsule from billions of years ago. It's a big meteorite, along with 4 smaller ones. Soon, people everywhere will get to see this piece of space history up close. Who knows what secrets this cosmic visitor might reveal about our universe?
And this is what they found. A nearly 17...
Strange clouds. In Montana, something grabbed citizens' attention. At first, people thought aliens might be playing around, but soon, nephrologists jumped in and explained the truth. What looked like ocean waves frozen in the sky were actually the layers of clouds. These rare formations, called Kelvin-Helmholtz clouds, were putting on a spectacular show. Everyone took their cameras to capture the breathtaking sight. This amazing display reminded people that nature can create art more beautiful than anything. Ice monster.
He recorded something moving.
In the waters of Alaska's Chaina River, something strange was spotted moving beneath the surface. It looked like a giant creature made of snow, moving smoothly through the freezing water. Viewers thought it might be a monster, while others guessed it was a sturgeon, a big fish that looked a bit like an alligator. The snowy shape kept curving and moving, creating a puzzling sight. As news of the ice monster spread, people from all over came to see if they could spot it. While the true identity of the creature remains a mystery, it shows that even in the coldest places, nature can surprise and excite us.
He recorded something moving.
Capsule Conundrum. In a faraway place, a group of hikers saw an amazing sight. A huge, strange object was floating silently above the mountains. It was an odd, ship-like structure that was much bigger than any plane and glowed with a strange light. While they watched in amazement, a small, fast, disc-shaped object appeared next to the big one. Suddenly, a bright beam of light shot down from the big ship. Then, both ships quietly disappeared behind the mountains and were never seen again. Could this be some ET crafts or even something more terrifying? Any guesses? Crashed UFO.
It's a metallic-looking object, half covered in ice.
In the frozen lands of Antarctica, a satellite image sparked excitement among scape hunters. As global warming causes ice to melt, more and more mysteries are emerging now. The picture showed a strange, metallic-looking object half buried in ice. Experts believed it was an alien spaceship UFO, hidden for thousands of years. They point out that Antarctica's harsh environment is similar to Mars, making it a perfect hiding spot for otherworldly explorers. While scientists search for answers, this icy mystery reminds us that Earth still holds many secrets. Who knows what other amazing discoveries might be waiting under the Antarctic ice?
It's a metallic-looking object, half covered in ice.
Portal encounter. On a seemingly ordinary day, people around the world were amazed by a strange sight in the sky above the mountains. A disc-shaped object was spotted passing through a big glowing ring in the clouds before vanishing completely. Some thought the ring might be a portal to another world or a way for aliens to travel vast distances quickly, while few took it as a natural phenomenon. Could this be proof of extraterrestrial life using portals to travel? Share your thoughts in the comments. Arctic holes. Below the icy horizon, a sudden and mysterious crack in the Antarctic ice captured the attention of the world. This wasn't just any hole, it was much bigger. Even stranger, a similar hole had been seen in the same spot over 40 years ago. This mysterious opening, called a polynya, was surrounded by ice but filled with open water. Unlike other polynyas that form near shores, this one is far out in the ocean. It's as if someone punched a giant hole right through the ice. Investigators are working hard to understand why this polynya has returned and what it might mean for our changing planet. Fiery spheres. In the vast Alaskan wilderness, a worker's routine day took an extraordinary turn. 3 enormous shimmering spheres were seen flying high above the frozen land. These fireballs, each larger than any known aircraft, moved with impossible grace and speed. During their flight, they separated, reunited, spinned, and twirled. News of the sighting spread quickly, drawing UFO enthusiasts and scientists alike to debate the nature of the phenomenon. While some sought natural explanations like rare atmospheric events, others couldn't help but wonder if they had witnessed the existence of supernatural beings. Sky saucer. Earlier this year, a peculiar phenomenon captured the attention of people worldwide. In Japan, a driver observed a large, perfectly circular, luminous object hovering above the mountain peaks. The object, which appeared to be suspended in the sky, sparked excitement and speculation among UFO enthusiasts who reached the area to investigate. The mysterious ring remained visible for several hours before disappearing. While some believed it to be a flying saucer, others dismissed it as a natural atmospheric phenomenon. The sighting left observers questioning their understanding of the sky and the unknown. Frozen bait. On a winter day, an ice fisherman packed up his gear, ready to head home. As he approached his car, he noticed something strange in the roadside snow. Without hesitation, he ran and began removing the ice. There was a fish trapped in a quickly freezing cylindrical-shaped body. Maybe someone left there. He set them to return to deeper water where they could survive. The irony wasn't lost on him. Here he was, saving fish after a day spent trying to catch them. But it felt right. As he drove home, he smiled, knowing he'd given these creatures a second chance at life in their icy world. Forest survey. In the forest, a group of visitors froze in their tracks when they saw an extraordinary object above the treetops. Flying silently was a metallic disc seeming to survey the area below. Suddenly, a brilliant beam of light shot downward from the craft's underside, illuminating the forest floor. The light pulsed with an otherworldly energy, with a low, thunderous voice that vibrated through the air. As quickly as it appeared, the disc began to go up. Within moments, it vanished into clouds, leaving no trace behind. The hikers stood in silence, trying to process what they'd witnessed. Yet, they made their way back. They couldn't shake the feeling of fear out of them. Mystery beast. In rural Texas, a farmer's routine inspection took an unexpected turn when he encountered a strange carcass. The creature, with its bare skin and dog-like look, caused a lot of arguments. Some people thought it was a chupacabra, while others said it was just a coyote with a skin disease. As photos spread, fans of mysterious creatures argued with doubters. Later, DNA tests showed it was safe to refer to it as a Texas chupacabra. Although it wasn't magical, the discovery showed how diverse animals can be and the value of scientific research. It is now preserved and helps teach people about wildlife and the influence of myths. It's time for today's open discussion. Recently, some top-secret files were leaked, revealing unsettling details. 2 videos, believed to be from the 70s or 80s, surfaced online. In one video, a strange humanoid figure, slim and goblin-like, was lying on a table. In another, scientists were seen examining these bizarre creatures. The authorities tried to cover it up, but internet detectives were faster, and the footage spread quickly. As the videos made their way across the internet, theories exploded. Could this be an alien captured after the Roswell incident? Or someone from Miami captured the ET guy and transported here? The truth might still be hidden, but the conspiracy theories are definitely out in the open.